Gorilla Tag has been out since 2021, and the history of the game to me is genuinely interesting. How did Gorilla Tag become Gorilla Tag? In this video, I'm going to show you OG Gorilla Tag history, going through every update until it first got put on App Lab, as well as some interesting facts you may not know about old Gorilla Tag. Subscribe if you enjoy or learn anything new, and let's get into the crazy history of Gorilla Tag. Gorilla Tag has been around a while, and over the past 3 years, we've seen it grow into one of the biggest VR games, but how did we get here in the first place? I recently revisited the old release updates of Gorilla Tag to show where we came from since release, and how far the game has evolved, but we can go even further back in time than I showed. We can go back to the development versions. Gorilla Tag is an indie game that was released to play very early on to give feedback on the, at the time, almost completely new hand-based VR locomotion system. With these in development versions, we can pretty much see Lemming's whole process for getting Gorilla Tag from a basic proof of concept to one of the most immersive VR games around, and it all starts on January 28th, 2020 at 6:23 p.m. The initial build of Gorilla Tag.
Just more affecting you. It's. I can talk. Oh, is he gonna make it? Got it.
This is the first version of Gorilla Tag ever released. It started out very basic, just you, some platforms to jump on, and a giant red yeet. Showing from the start that Lemming is just winging it. A few days later, Lemming would add some more objects, inadvertently becoming the first person to create an only up map. Parkour. Some bug fixes, double cameras, movement improvements, and 3 months later, we would finally get multiplayer in Gorilla Tag.
Never look behind you.
No more Lonely Gorilla, but now there's no servers, so forever a lone monkey. After adding some smaller things like step sounds and tag freeze, Infection was added to Gorilla Tag on May 30th, 2020.
Got it.
No! It took 5 months to get the main game mode we have now. There was also a new map called Sky Jungle, which is where the real name for clouds came from. So this is Sky Jungle, the first real map for Gorilla Tag, and it has just a bunch of cubes, and eventually they got colored. Over in this section, you have some thin ones that are kind of dense. And over here, you got some big boys. And you can come up here and come up to the clouds up here. It's got this interesting double wall placement. And I wish we had this more in Gorilla Tag. I don't think we really have something like that anywhere. June would be pretty eventful. Sky Jungle was expanded and a Gorilla Cave area was added, which would just be a settings hub like the stump is now, as well as the first implementation of slippery walls, just walls you could not climb at all. But this is what the settings would become. Just a couple boxes. You got snap turn, you got smooth turn, and you can change the speed of it. Then over here we have the color selecting bubbles, and I actually really like these. I wish these came back. I think this is just a fun way to choose colors. And then we have the giant old keyboard, which you'll be able to put your name in. I'm Gorilla One. I'm the first gorilla to ever play Gorilla Tag. Look at that. You see the start of an experimental era of Gorilla Tag. Longtime viewers will know my love for this one. Capture the Flag was prototyped, it was fixed 4 times in an hour, and then it was cut for not being fun, as well as a new lobby area being added. I wish we still had servers. The Capture the Flag map had a lot of verticality. There's levels way up here. You gotta really monkey around to get up here and hope you don't fall down. Oh god, I'm falling. But how Capture the Flag would work is that if you get tagged at all, you'd have to run back to your box, and that would allow you to actually grab the other team's flag. You couldn't grab the flag if you were tagged. And as you can see up there, it was first to 3 wins. Out of like all of the removed stuff from Gorilla Tag, Capture the Flag is like the one thing I want back. I want them to just bring back Capture the Flag just as it is, even if it was not fun. I just want to play it. Without servers, I can't grab the flag. I'm really hoping the rotating map in Gorilla Tag will eventually have Capture the Flag, or it'll just eventually become a real game mode. But which team would you pick, red or blue? This is that new lobby area. It would just be a little hangout spot, place to practice how to play Gorilla Tag, nice monkey game. Because at this point, you know, people didn't really know how to play, and pinch climbing was kind of bad. It pretty much didn't exist. The next month would have the also long-forgotten PvE game mode where you would throw fireballs at some infinitely spawning enemies. The fireballs weren't intuitive to throw, so the game mode was removed, but it was improved and became the snowballs we have in Gorilla Tag today. I wish we still had servers. Another long-standing staple of Gorilla Tag was added on August 4th. We finally got a tutorial area, and it looks quite similar to the one we still have. We even got some words of improvement, like, hey, good job when you got over here. And some hints on wall jumping and apologies on the gross yellow. Then after completing the tutorial, you're told you're gonna make a great monkey robot thing. And then a nice good old classic, nice gorilla, good job. Then on the 7th, 2 of our fingers were chopped off, but now they actually work, and a new cave map was added and improved shortly after. And this cave map would be revamped into the old caves map, which would be revamped into the new caves map that we have now. So this is the old caves map, a bunch of tight corridors with cubes, and an almost completely separate level with a bunch of crystal rock things. You can definitely see where the inspiration for the old caves map we had in actual Gorilla Tag is. And the new caves map in Gorilla Tag was trying to get the essence of this map more, where it was just a bunch of tight corridors. You gotta juke. For a short while, Gorilla Tag had XP levels, and for a while longer than that, we had dedicated 1v1 maps with finally the ability to tag people by hitting their body. By November, things were almost ready, and we saw the introduction of the iconic Forest map, though in a very unpolished state compared to today. And for some reason, the first version of Forest had this little guy. I don't really know why. But as you can see, Forest has changed quite a bit from what it is like today, like especially the leaves. There's no tutorial. The double walls seem like stretched out. There's a lot more space back here. And the treehouse ladder was rough, and it would go through plenty of iterations. And with that, we've hit the pre-alpha era of Gorilla Tag. By this point, Lemming has tuned up most of the locomotion and has a good map. It's time to put in the little things and improve the user experience. First, he reworked, as he said, almost everything, fine-tuning the movement, a new environment, the forest decor like the slide and treehouse, as well as the Monkey OS version 1. And some tweaking, and finally the ability to choose a name and color from the computer itself and the pavilion. More fixes and improvements later, it's time for the most important part. At this point, it's been about a year since the first release, and we are still just playing tag. But that was about to change. January 7th, 2021, the most important date in Gorilla Tag history. We finally became monkey. Yes, I'm finally a monkey, and it looks like I have a huge head and a small body. And now we're at February 7th, 2021. Release version 1 of Gorilla Tag. It's finally ready. So here we are in the release version of Gorilla Tag. We have the old stump stubs. Oh, these are great to have back. I want these to come back to Gorilla Tag so much. There's so much stuff that used to be in Gorilla Tag that just kind of should be in the game again. This was for easier access to the stump for newer players, but at this point, the Gorilla Tag skill, floor is a lot higher. So, this could come back without a problem. Got the good old slide and pavilion, the table, the little stair set. But for the people that are newer to Gorilla Tag, this is all we had. We didn't have any of the fun stuff. We didn't have the light post. We didn't have the campfire. We especially didn't have the new pond that's here in the spring update. We had 0 other maps, not counting tutorial. We couldn't even really see Secret Tunnel that much. The walls aren't as smooth, and there are no slippery walls. And even since then, the only thing that we've lost from Stump is this little table right here. Forest itself is pretty much the exact same, aside from a couple updates right after release where walls were smoothed out, and these walls back here were moved in to make this pit smaller. And now to be the last person to slide in the first version of Gorilla Tag. Some bug fixes later, and Gorilla Tag was officially released on February 12th, 2021 on Steam and February 14th on SideQuest. It was an instant hit on release, cementing itself as one of the best VR games almost right away, and that's the entire pre-launch development history of our favorite monkey game. Over the past 3 years, Gorilla Tag has changed and evolved in a lot of ways. From new game modes, new maps, and a whole lot of wacky cosmetics. Most recently, it's the new tiger skin. From a simple game of tagging monkeys to the biggest VR game around. Those first months of Gorilla Tag were an experience you just don't find too much anymore. Just laughing, running around, and learning how to be monkey. But now it's time for a nostalgia hit. It's time to go back in time to the start, the beginning, what the first Gorilla Tag players experienced. The first updates of Gorilla Tag VR. Subscribe if you enjoy, and let's get into it with the first release of Gorilla Tag. So here we are in the first version of Gorilla Tag. This is the version that released when Gorilla Tag first released in February 2021. So let's get out a tutorial and see what it looks like. Oh, the old textures that are kind of blurry. Then we hop into the forest map. Look at this. It looks quite similar to what you're used to. There are a couple glaring issues that you'll notice, especially with the stump with the branches instead of the ramp. I wish that we had this in Gorilla Tag again. This was the first memory of Gorilla Tag was these little stumps struggling to get up this just so I could leave a lobby. The forest walls are super jagged. Nothing got smoothed out. So when Gorilla Tag first came out, all we had was forest. There was no beach map, so Secret Tunnel is pretty much not even there. And if you go inside Stump, you'll see it definitely looks a lot different. We have pretty much nothing. We just have a very mini computer with a keyboard that's slightly different with some options right here. But no city, no caves, no canyons. It was pretty much just, it's a stump with a table. We have a table. It's a little bit of furniture. And these old versions of Gorilla Tag are the ones where you could get out of the map pretty easily. So let's see if I can at all. I haven't done this in a very long time. Alright, I suck. I'm going for the easier one. The crease! Almost there. Almost there. No! We didn't know it yet, but we had an experience that 99% of people would never get. My only request for any new Gorilla Tag update is to get those stump stubs back. I just want them back. But now that we've seen the original version of Gorilla Tag, it's time to see the first changes that the game ever got. And it started very strong. So we are here in the first update to Gorilla Tag. There are a couple differences that you can already see, like the Gorilla Code of Conduct is here, and I think it is still unchanged. And there is also the new Caves map. Before we hop in here, though, there are a couple things to see out in Forest, like we have the ramp. The ramp is now here. Only 2 weeks of Gorilla Tag had the stump branch, and then we have the ramp, and it's been like that ever since. As well as that, the forest walls have been smoothed out, so that divot is no longer there. And Secret Tunnel is very easily visible from the outside. Look at this. You can see Old Secret Tunnel Elephant Ear Door. Now let me try and get out of the map and see Secret Tunnel. It's been a while. Let's see, to the corner. Come on. Come on. Yes. Oh, I made it. Okay, Secret Tunnel. Let me see you. Yes, Secret Tunnel. You led to the beach map eventually. I'm just telling you now. I'm from the future. Now let's check out the Caves map for the first release of it in the game. Here it is. Old Caves. Oh, I missed you. You're so beautiful. Oh, I want to hear the ding. No. This is before the ding. No. But we also have Mines. Mines is here too. Oh, you're beautiful. Beautiful Mines. And the only main change that Caves really got until the revamp was that little crevice that kind of appeared right here where you'd be able to go into mines from just kind of over here. That does not exist in the first version of Caves. The secret tunnel theory stayed on our minds for years until the introduction of the beach map, and we were seeing the Gorilla world start to take shape right before our eyes. And it would continue to expand, especially in customization options very soon. And then we are here in the Early Access Cosmetics update where we have the first introduction of Hat Room. So we come up here and we can see the good old classic hats. Look at them all. The good old top hat, the Early Access badge, and the mirror, the original mirror. Look at me. Hello, monkeys. My mouth doesn't move because this is from like 3 years ago. Interesting thing, the cosmetics were only available on Steam for a while, and nowadays Steam can't buy the bundles, so yeah, that kind of sucks. A little ironic. But as well as Hat Room, there are a couple other updates that have happened, like the computer has gotten changed. We got the up and down arrows for the different tabs on the computer itself, and the computer itself is a bit wider. This was the introduction of the competitive queue, so you would just go to there and then you would turn on competitive queue. There was no city obstacle course to deal with. And let's see how Secret Tunnel's doing. It's still there. It looks about the same in this version. And if we hop down into Caves, you can see what I was talking about in the previous update where Lemming added the little bit that was on the side in Caves. Right here. And that's led down to mines in a more natural way. This may have been the most important update that Gorilla Tag ever got. Even though people don't like spending money for cosmetics, without that original early access pack on Steam, Lemming probably would not have been able to keep the servers up for Gorilla Tag nearly as long as he did. And with the amount of players Gorilla Tag was getting, money was tight. At least nowadays, with the cosmetic prices and regular cadence of updates that we get, we have no need to worry about server costs until Gorilla Tag eventually does actually die. But now it is time for one of the most controversial updates in Gorilla Tag history. They added slippery walls. The fourth update in Gorilla Tag added slippery walls. And along with some bug fixes and straightening out the walls a bit more, all that was really added was the casual queue, which I can't really see here. Slippery walls were very divisive in the community, with some people liking to get out of the map and other people not liking when other people stalled the game by being outside of the map. It was a very rampant issue back in the day and even still is anytime there's an out-of-map exploit. It may have been a small update, but Lemming was hard at work on another very special update. Finally, Canyons! The best map in Gorilla Tag! Oh, old Canyons! Oh, it's so great! Oh, it's so clean in here, look at this! Oh, I can be so good here. This is my map. This was my element right here. This is where I learned to play Gorilla Tag. This is where I got good. If you didn't get good here, then you didn't get good anywhere, because this was the spot. This is where the chases were. This is where you played full monkey game, go monkey mode. But at least when the map came out of beta, it had these here. People were struggling to get on top of this hut. I really miss this view so much. It's so nostalgic being here. Oh, it was really nice being back, even if there's no servers to actually play on. That one is still my favorite update. If you couldn't tell when I was talking about canyons, it's my favorite map. I honestly wish we still had old canyons. Without canyons, I may not have fallen in love with Gorilla Tag as much as I did, and I may not have made a career out of making videos for you to watch on Gorilla Tag. Forest is the last bastion of mainly unchanged original Gorilla Tag. Aside from the addition of super slippery walls, the gameplay and layout of Forest has remained unchanged. Only really the seasonal things happen like what we have now for spring, and a few smaller things around like the campfire, the light post, the lamps, and Doug. Over the course of 2 months, Lemming as a solo dev added 2 full new maps to Gorilla Tag, which would be insane content scheduling today. Then over the course of the next 3 years, both of those maps got revamps, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 completely new and full maps were added to Gorilla Tag, along with the 2 rotating maps so far with Swamp and the Pyramid map, as well as 4 new mechanics, them being the rope swinging, sliding, swimming, and size changing. So you better believe Gorilla Tag has changed and evolved in quite a lot of ways. And those were the first 5 updates to Gorilla Tag, each one very important for the future of the game, and elements from each of them can still be found in Gorilla Tag today. Subscribe if you wish you had a time machine too. Secret Tunnel, the most opinion-dividing part of Gorilla Tag. Taunting us with small changes over the years, people have speculated and debated about what will be behind it, as well as always assuming new maps will be connected to the tunnel. But they don't talk about what was already there. This is the history of Gorilla Tag VR's greatest mystery. Make sure you subscribe. The Secret Tunnel has been a huge part of the community discussion of Gorilla Tag, starting around when the elephant appeared. A texturing illusion where the wall rock didn't line up anymore and it looked like an elephant, specifically an elephant's ear. Although this was more like seeing a picture in clouds. Later, the Secret Tunnel itself was discovered and knowledge about its existence spread. Everyone wanted it. They wanted the answers, the ones we're still waiting for. The speculation would run rampant, and the discovery of old unused files had the community thinking that it would be a valley map for the cut dodgeball game mode, which would become a running point of confusion over what was old or new in the files. After maps connecting to Stump became a thing, reality set in that it may never be used, but it didn't stop the theorists. Every map had a running theme of us thinking that it would spawn at the Secret Tunnel, and every time a new map was coming to the game, we hoped and we waited and thought, it'll be the next one, right? The idea went around that Secret Tunnel was just a remnant of a time when Forest would have directly connected to maps like canyons and caves. Due to an almost duplicate Forest mesh with an open and longer Secret Tunnel being called Pit Lobby in the files. But Pit Lobby was for something completely separate. A bigger and better social lobby for the game, with a higher player limit, or reserved slots in lobbies. Lemming had some ideas.
I'm hoping that if I do that stuff, then I will be able to raise the player limit, add in like reserved slots for certain players.
Secret Tunnel would go unused and unacknowledged, aside from some small mesh changes, which led to some revamped speculation, but nothing of substance other than hope and fake clickbait update videos. It's time for the truth. The Gorilla Tag mystery, solved at last. But first, we need to go back over 2.5 years to the historical builds of Gorilla Tag. These are versions of the game that released before the early access release in February 2021 on Steam, SideQuest, and AppLab. They were only available in the Gorilla Tag Discord, but they're not there anymore. December 4th, 2020. The current version of Gorilla Tag is pre-alpha 1.2. Lemming creates a concept for a map connecting to Forest with both a sketch and a model. This is the Hike map, a large-scale map with a path to a mountain that takes almost 10 minutes to walk. The next day, Secret Tunnel is created and the 2 maps are connected. Due to performance and Lemming not liking how the Hike map looked, it is scrapped, leaving Secret Tunnel unused. And Gorilla Tag version pre-alpha 1.3 went unreleased, still avoiding the public to this day. December 19th, 2020. Pre-alpha 1.4 is released with the Hike map still in the files and the Secret Tunnel now covered up, almost invisibly there. February 26th, 2021. The Cave update releases, adding caves to Gorilla Tag, and the texture of Secret Tunnel's cover changes, becoming the elephant that we all know and love. March 18th, 2021. Competitive queue is added to Gorilla Tag and people start to escape the map. Secret Tunnel is discovered by the general public. After the announcement of canyons, we thought that would end up at Secret Tunnel, but we were wrong. Then suddenly, on March 20th, 2022, the spring update for Gorilla Tag that year, Secret Tunnel slightly opened. This led to a dramatic spike in the discussion and speculation about the Secret Tunnel once again. Could it finally be happening? something from Secret Tunnel. Things would go silent for a while until there was sand added to the hole in Secret Tunnel. This is what made people start theorizing about a beach or desert map. And there was more nothing until the basement update when the crack was added. This led to more hope that it would eventually come down. And that's without even talking about the city secret tunnel that came and went before anything happened to the real secret tunnel. And then after scripting out most of this video, the Gorilla Tag update that added the ropes and zip lines to canyons came, as well as the signs outside secret tunnel. So I'd add that too. This is where we are left. More waiting. Still wanting. Will Secret Tunnel have a satisfying enough answer, or are the devs the ones satisfied by just trolling us? Hey guys, StyledSnail here. During the development of Gorilla Tag, Lemmy had some pretty interesting features to add to the game, but they were unfortunately scrapped, and I'm going to go over some of them. Welcome to Gorilla Tag Cut Content. Subscribe. The first one I want to talk about is a PvE game mode that used to be in the game where you would throw fireballs at some yellow cylinders. I was never able to play it because the servers were down on the old versions, and I'm not entirely sure on why it was removed, but we can look onto the next one to see possibly why. Next, the cut dodgeball game mode where you would throw dodgeballs at other players. We know why this one was cut, and we have some leftover files from it. Lemming has stated that the actual gesture of throwing wasn't that intuitive and just kind of didn't feel good, which I get. Throwing in VR kind of sucks. It didn't feel good to play, so he wanted to spend his time on more viable things. Although now I think it might work. I feel like it could make a comeback. It'd be fun. You could say that these snowballs, the water balloons, as well as the paintball game mode are all kind of spiritual successors of that. So we kind of already have it. Woo! These next two are pretty sweet. The first one being XP levels that would show up on the leaderboard. And I've wanted this one since I started playing Gorilla Tag. I feel like it'd be sick. I really want to know what level I would be at this point. I've been playing Gorilla Tag for a while. It probably was removed because Lemming didn't really like to have a goal switch for like why you would play, and that's why there's like no daily challenges. You want to play Monkey because you want to play Monkey, not to do the 1 or 2 challenges. And the next one is MMR, actual skill-based matchmaking. This, I don't know if it would be good or not, but I feel like it'd be interesting. I feel like it'd get a lot more toxic. Let me know what you think down below. And the last one, this one might take top spot for the feature I wish most was in the game, capture the flag. I swear it's been hinted at a couple times. There were a few old builds of the game where it was implemented, although the servers weren't up, so I was never able to play it. And we know why this one was removed. Lemming said that he couldn't make it as good as Infection. It just wasn't that fun. Although I feel like I would have a lot of fun with it. I really want it. I'd capture the flag, please. And if not capture the flag, something like it, like King of the Hill or something. I feel like that could be cool too. And there were 5 features cut from Gorilla Tag for one reason or another. Do you have any that I didn't have on this list? Let me know down below, and let me know what your favorite one was and the one that you would want most to be in the game is. Hey guys, StyledSnail here. I'm checking out a map that is a pike map from an old Gorilla Tag version that you guys probably haven't seen. Make sure you hit the like button, in other words, subscribe! Its apparent scale is 1 kilometer for a path. So you start off in forest, because this was a request. And you come through the secret tunnel, which it connects to. This is what the secret tunnel was connecting to, was this specific map. You got really tall walls up there, and you got this path. And a teleporter in case you quit from the start. But as you can see, it actually goes outside of the skybox. That's how big this map is. This is an actual hike. I have no idea how long this will take to get to the end, but I'm going for it. It looked so much smaller in the editor, but this is gigantic. Making some good distance though. Some good speed. I think I might need to take a lunch break. Alright, back to it. I'm almost to the skybox. I think. A lot closer than before, but it's so flat you can't really tell distance. Alright, I'm about to go beyond the skybox. Do I collide with it? No? Okay. Oh, this looks trippy. Look, there's a huge hill over here. I'm gonna take a shortcut. I feel like you add some trees, add some towns. This could be a really good open world map for Gorilla Tag. I feel like that could be cool. Do some quests or something. I'm just talking about random stuff at this point. Trying to show how long this map really is. Without all the cuts. Oh, that mountain is huge. How am I gonna get up that? That's where the exit teleporter is. I feel like I could just host a race on this thing instead. Oh, the end is disappearing. I'm getting to the bottom of the hill now. I'm definitely starting to feel the burn now. Another shortcut. Just keep climbing. I'm just gonna shortcut all the way up it. Just climb up the hill. I think I'm about halfway up this part of the hill now. Oh, that is definitely a really long path. I miss being inside the skybox. It's so dark out here in the void. Oh, found the path again. That was a big shortcut. Now where's it taking me? This is like Death Mountain from Legend of Zelda tall. Jeez. People were hoping for a volcano map. I guess this is how, if they wanted, they could get it. Oh, the end of the path. I made it. Now, how do I get up there to get out of this? Maybe I can wall climb up. Possibly. But more probable is no. Although, actually, this is less steep than I thought. Oh, it gets more steep. Uh-oh. Okay. You just gotta zigzag it. It's Skyrim now. I got this. I can make it all the way up. Mid-climb break. Yummy. Subscribe if you haven't already. This is what I do for you. Please. This is definitely good wall climbing practice, though. Just gotta keep it going. I think I can see the top, but I also cannot tell. I'm so high off the ground now, too. How much more? This is pain. This is the tallest map I've ever climbed. It's also the longest. This is the biggest map in Gorilla Tag. Oh, there's a little lip there. Oh, if that would have killed me. Oh, just keep going. Just keep going. Oh, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Come on. Grass. Yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is crazy tall. Where's the teleporter? Please? Oh, I can't see it. Oh, there it is. Teleporter. Come on. Oh, it's in the ground. Oh, please tell me it still works. Oh, thank God. Oh, my last snack. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord down below. Link to the map in the description if I'm allowed to distribute it. I don't know yet. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye. Gorilla Tag VR has been out for a while now, and I know for a fact most of you wouldn't have seen some of these things for yourself. Here's how the maps have changed in Gorilla Tag over time. Starting with the classic and most popular map, Forest. When Gorilla Tag first came out, the stump ramp didn't exist. Instead, we had these little branch stubs that we had to parkour on to get inside the tree. This was changed very soon after release to make it easier for new players to get inside the tree. Also, there was no speaker pull for music as there wasn't any in-game music yet, and no random props like the lamps or the campfire either. Also, there were no slippery walls. This isn't counting temporary map theme changes. Now to Canyons. Canyons hasn't changed too much at all. The only big change was the addition of the rock climb in the wall beneath the top condo. Also, the condos themselves used to be white instead of the clay-like color they have now. Other than the obstacle course, City hasn't really changed at all. The outside environment changed before, but nothing special to bring up with them. And for Caves, other than the addition of music and the crystal piano, I don't think the map has changed at all. I wasn't playing when it was first added, so I have no prior knowledge past what we have now. In Mountains, other than the addition of lamps, there were very few changes to this map, mainly changes to the sliding mechanics themselves. There was an update that added more support to the slide, as well as changing one slippery face into snow so you could get to the slide easier. And finally, the tree stump itself. The inside of Stump itself has had some changes, mainly being the removal of Hat Room when City was added, since City is where the cosmetics are. And that's really it. That's pretty much all of the map changes that have happened. Not too much ever for a change in layout, just some quick quality of life improvements to make the maps flow better or reduce the amount of out-of-map exploits. Let me know which changes you saw for yourself, or ones that you would like to see reverted